Hello YouTube, this is Trainer Red with a battle from VGC 2012 at Indianapolis, Indiana at Nationals tournament, and let's just get right to it. I'm challenged by Josh. I think this was in the third round of the tournament. So he had a Cresselia and a Metagross on his team, which are two pretty big counters to what I have. So I sent out Scizor and Cresselia because Scizor could take out Cresselia, and my own Cresselia has a hidden power to take on both a Scizor and a Metagross, and that was going to be my counter to both of them. He starts out by sending out Thunder Wave on my Scizor, and I'm going to use that hidden power with the boost from an Expert Belt on his Metagross, and it's hidden power Fire. It has the power to one-hit KO a Scizor, so that's why I use it on Metagross, but it didn't have as much power behind it as I thought it would. And then he's going to use Iron Head with a Steel Gem on Cresselia, and that's going to do a lot more damage than I expected, but it's still just fine. And he's going to paralyze my Scizor on the first move, but I was going to use Bug Bite on that Cresselia so that I could get rid of that, but that didn't happen. He's going to protect here, and I was going to try and get that Metagross down as low as possible in health, but that didn't happen. And he's going to paralyze Cresselia, and he's going to make my team pretty vulnerable to Parahacks. And Scizor gets paralyzed for the second turn in a row, so I'm not going to get that Bug Bite off. And he's going to send in his Zapdos in place of his Metagross, which is a pretty good switch, so that he can take on Scizor, and I've got nothing that I can do against that because I assume that he's carrying Heat Wave on it. So I'm going to switch out Cresselia and put in Politoed for the Rain boost, so that if he does hit with Heat Wave, it will be somewhat weakened, and I hope he doesn't get the one-hit KO on it. He's going to use Psychic on my Scizor, probably to get it so that he can get that one-hit KO with the Heat Wave, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And I'm going to use Bug Bite on his Zapdos, and I'm going to get rid of that Yache Berry. This next turn, I thought he was going to Heat Wave, but he didn't. He's going to Thunderbolt instead, and I protected so that I could avoid it either way, and I'm going to use Scald on his Zapdos with because I have Water Gem and the boost from the Rain, and hopefully I'm going to be able to one-hit KO it. And he gets that Thunder Wave off on my Politoed, which is going to make it pretty weak. It's already pretty slow because it's Quiet Nature, but I mean, it's way too slow now. So I'm going to one-hit KO that Zapdos with that Scald, so it's pretty good for me. And he's going to send out Tyranitar to deal with that Rain. That's a pretty good switch in, and now I'm just going to get buffeted to death with Politoed, but Scizor is going to be fine because he's got that Steel type. Now he's going to Icy Wind and slow him down a little bit more to get more of that damage off, and he's going to start using Rock Slide on my team to either fish for the paralysis or those flinches from the Rock Slide. Now this does quite a bit of damage, but nothing I can't handle. I get the Bug Bite off finally on that Cresselia, and I'm going to not do nearly as much damage as I thought, but I do get a Lumberry out of it, which is pretty sweet, so now I don't have paralysis anymore. And Politoed's going to flinch from that Rock Slide. A little bit of damage from Buffeted on both sides, and on this turn I was going to protect because I didn't want to take another Rock Slide, and I figured he was going to Thunder Wave again, and he did, so that's going to make Cresselia useless for one turn. I'm just hoping that Politoed doesn't flinch on this turn so I can get that Scald off on the Tyranitar and maybe get a burn, but I don't get that burn, and it's not going to do as much as I would hope because it does have that special defense boost from the Sandstorm. And he doesn't get down to half health, and in this next turn I use Bullet Punch because I figure maybe it's going to be enough power to take out that Tyranitar, but I'm wrong. It just gets really low into the red. And he's going to use Thunder Wave finally on that Scizor, and Politoed is way too slow to get anything off before the Rock Slide comes and hits him, so he's going to be worthless for this turn. And then, yeah, now Scizor's pretty low, down to 25 HP. So I'm going to send in Mamoswine next, because he's not going to take any damage from the sand, and also I figure I could get some moves off against that Cresselia, like an Icicle Crash, and maybe get a flinch if I'm lucky. So I'm going to use Bullet Punch on that Tyranitar to get rid of it, but he protected it. I should have seen that coming. And I use Icicle Crash on his Cresselia, maybe to KO it, but it's too defensive. I could not do it, and he's going to use Icy Wind and slow my team down. In this next turn, they both are so low on HP that it's not really gonna matter. So I'm gonna use just Ice Shard on his Tyranitar and Bullet Punch on the Cresselia, because no matter what, they were both gonna get KO'd. So I just figured I'd switch it up, and that's gonna sweep the field for me. And now I know he's got that Metagross left, and it's got a substantial amount of damage from that Hidden Power Fire that I put on it. So I'm sitting pretty here with 3 Pokemon. So I'm going to use Earthquake, which was a dumb move. I figured he wasn't going to protect, and I figured he was slower. But I'm going to use Earthquake, and I'm going to kill my own Scizor because of it. And that was a pretty dumb move. I probably should have just used Bug Bite, but I thought he was going to Bullet Punch or something here, but he didn't at all. So now I have to send in Cresselia, which is paralyzed, and it's got a lot of its health gone, to take it out. And I forgot about the Icy Wind. It is way too slow to take on that Metagross, and it has too much attack, and he's going to one-hit KO Mamoswine with that Iron Head. And so now it's one-on-one, and I'm going to use Hidden Power Fire, and hopefully this is going to one-hit KO. Well, it's going to KO, but instead it gets into the red. And he's going to use Iron Head on that next turn, which is going to be pretty powerful. So I don't know how much it's going to do. Oh wait, instead he's going to use that Protect, so that he's going to get a little bit more damage on Cresselia and maybe still get that KO with the Iron Head. But he doesn't, and he also does not get that flinch, thank goodness. And with 10 HP left, I'm going to Hidden Power Fire, and I'm going to knock out that Metagross. And that was pretty much the best thing I did all day. If you like this video, just stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be a lot like Nuzlocke and several other battle videos.